Settlement, Texas, right outside of Fort Worth, in the Bible Belt, and a Bible study class going on around 10, between 10 and 11 o'clock this morning. We're going to get into that right now, guys. Those of you who are new, please hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell, so this way you do not miss any of the DutyRon broadcasts and you get notifications. So we're going to speak about this horrific church shooting this morning. I have a few pointers I want to talk to you guys about. We're going to get into it in a few minutes. We're going to wait for some people to come on in. Thank you, Josh, for confirmation on the mic that it sounds good. We changed up a little bit of the location here, but the U Police sign is still in effect right above my refrigerator. So I'm not sure. I don't see many people joining, so I don't know what's happening, but that's on Streamlabs. Let me just open up my secondary device here real quick. We are live. I can see that. Excellent. Great to see top chat. Got to get to live chat. All right, I got the live chat enabled. Guys, if you're coming in, just please share it on out. Share the broadcast out onto your social. I have a couple of reports and a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about that I had spoken about in previous broadcasts about these type of shooting events. Hello, Thomas, Reborn Angels. Thank you so much. Tominas, thank you so much for coming in. Good to see you. So let me just see what's happening here with the stream. Let me share, because I usually don't go live that often at this hour. I'm usually on later. So let's see what happens here. Hey, Faithful One, how are you? Great to see you. So I'm sharing onto my community tab right now. Hi, Claire. Good to see you. Thanks for joining, Claire. S in the building. Good to see you. I'm going to listen on the headphones for a second. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Thank you for joining. It is a little echoey. It definitely is a little echoey, but I'm going to lower the volume on it a little bit, and I think that'll take care of a little bit of the echo. Hi, Wanda. Thank you for joining. Welcome into the broadcast. So I just shared it out, and I'm going to do a quick share onto Twitter. Hi, Texas Lassie. Great to see you. I had an amazing Christmas. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you guys all did too. Again, we're speaking about a horrific shooting down in Texas, right outside of Fort Worth, and just you cringe when you hear these things. The area is called the White Settlement. It's a church shooting that happened earlier this morning, and it's really, really terrible. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, Josh, but I don't think. I mean, it is showing that it's public, but I don't know about notifications, because it seems like notifications may or may not have gone out. Great to see you, Dari D. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining, Dari D. So again, I've spoken about this on many different occasions about security. This church, in a very small population, 16,000, they had their own armed security in there, and had they not had their own armed security, we would have had a big problem. So this situation in White Settlement was eradicated quickly by an armed parishioner. I don't know if it was a person that they employed, or if it was just a parishioner that was armed. But I saw in the video 2 or 3 armed civilians. So good guy with a gun took out a bad guy with a gun, but he did do some damage. But if they weren't there to stop it, you never know how much more damage could have been done. So, it could have been a lot worse. So I'm going to go to a quick clip for you guys. I have it queued up, so I'm gonna play that for you so you can get an idea of what happened.
We take you now to White Settlement, Texas, where officials are giving an update on a deadly shooting at a church. Let's listen in.
Cast for the Texas Rangers. This will be the first press conference. We anticipate having another one around 4:30 to 5 in that area, which maybe we can answer more questions. But in this first one, the chief is going to give you a statement, and there'll be no questions in this first press conference. So, Chief Bevering.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Bevering, White Summit Police Department. First of all, I want to give my condolences out for all the parishioners and the the parishioners at the church and our community. We're all hurting right now, and I just want your prayers for everybody at this time. Today will just be a brief statement about what's going on so far. At this time, we just want to tell the community that there is no ongoing threat to this incident. So today, at approximately 11:50 a.m., a gunman entered the West Freeway Church of Christ, White Settlement, Texas, during the church service. The preliminary reports indicated that the man entered the church and fired a weapon. A couple of members of the church returned fire, striking the suspect, who died at the scene. Tragically, the person shot by the suspect died at a local hospital, and a second parishioner has life-threatening injuries. As we stated, the suspect is deceased, and the threat has stopped, thanks to the heroic actions of those two parishioners at the church. With the resources available with the Texas Rangers and DPS, they will be leading this investigation. If we have additional information, we'll release it to the media and the public. In the meantime, like I said, we just ask for your thoughts and prayers for our community and the parishioners of the West Freeway Church of Christ. This is Agent DeSarno with the FBI, and he'll make a couple of statements.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chief. I would like to echo the Chief's comments for the entire community, the West Freeway Church of Christ. We're very sorry about this incident. The FBI has dedicated significant resources to aid in this investigation. Those are investigative resources and technical resources. We are working very hard to find motive, to get to the bottom of what happened. We're working very closely with the victims of this incident, and we will continue to provide partnership and resource support throughout this. As you see from the group assembled behind me, an incident like this does not get solved, and we don't get to the bottom of it without significant partnership with the Fort Worth Police Department, White Settlement Police Department, obviously the Texas DPS, and the FBI working together in concert to find justice for these victims. So I'd like to introduce Jeff Williams, the Regional Director of Texas DPS for North Texas.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Williams. I'm the Regional Director at Texas DPS. Like the Chief and Special Agent Charge DeSarno said, I'd like to echo those same sentiments, that our hearts go out to the victims and their families. I'd ask everyone to take a moment today just to lift them up in prayer. We have a enormous response here today to get to the bottom of what occurred. The resources that are represented behind me and the men and women who are inside the church working this crime scene. Unfortunately, this country has seen so many of these that we've actually gotten used to it to this point, and it's tragic, and it's a terrible situation, especially during the holiday season. I would like to point out that we have a couple of heroic parishioners who stopped short of just anything that you could even imagine and saved countless lives, and our hearts are going out to them and their families as well. This is an ongoing investigation. We don't have all the answers. I'm sure there are a bunch of them out there right now. We will continue to turn over every rock so that we can get to the bottom of what occurred. I want to thank you for your support and getting the message out that there is no threat to the public. We want everyone to know that we're doing our best to get to the bottom of this, and as soon as we have some more information, we'll pass that along. At this point, I'd like to introduce the Tarrant County Sheriff, Bill Wavin.
Just reiterating what you already heard, it's a horrific day in Tarrant County, and our prayers and thoughts are with the folks over here at the church and the people that are lost. But today, evil walked boldly among us. But let me remind you, good people raised up and stopped it before it got worse. No, we're not taking any questions. There will be a further brief later, but we got a lot of resources to bear. Everybody's involved. We will get to the bottom of it. Thank you.
All right, folks, thanks. Again, no questions now, but we'll be back around 4:30 to 5 for a follow-up.
All right. They said no questions. I was trying to hear if they were going to, in fact, it looks like he may be answering just a logistics question there, but you've been listening to local officials in White Settlement, Texas, talk about what they know at this point regarding a deadly shooting at a church, West Freeway Church of Christ in White Settlement. We heard the chief of police, J.P. Bevering, say that a man entered that church, fired a weapon. We know that a parishioner died, as did the shooter, according to the chief. A second parishioner was wounded with life-threatening injuries. At this point, the FBI, as you heard, is assisting in trying to determine a possible motive. But we also heard from an official there, Jeff Williams, the director of the Texas Department of Public Safety, point out that there were heroic parishioners inside the church who, quote, saved countless lives, and that there is no threat at this time to the public. We're going to continue to monitor events out of White Settlement, Texas, and bring you more details as they happen. For now, a quick break. You're streaming CBSN.
All right, guys. So, again, I spoke about this in a lot of previous live streams. I said how important it is that we act upon these type of events. We don't sit back and wait for the next one. This particular church utilized armed security. The shooters, as far as I know, has not been identified yet. That news conference was the latest that I saw. I think it said 3 something Central Standard Time, so it's 7 o'clock here. So it was just about an hour or two ago, around 2 hours ago. So I'm not sure if they released any more information, if there's additional. I'm gonna search for it because I set up some additional resources. I'm gonna see. I think these are earlier. This is earlier footage, but let's just see what Fox News had to say in regards to this.
We have a Fox News alert. At least 2 people are dead, shot to death after a gunman opened fire at a church in Texas. And police say the suspected shooter was taken down. We're interrupting the Journal editorial report with this breaking news update. I'm Eric Shawn here in New York.
And I'm Laura Engel. The shooting happened at the Freeway Church of Christ near Fort Worth. Police saying there are multiple victims from the shooting, at least one in critical condition. Christina Coleman has the very latest from our West Coast Bureau. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Laura. The suspect and a victim have both died, and a third person is in critical condition after the shooting. He suffered cardiac arrest, and he's now in the hospital at this hour. White Settlement Police got the call about this deadly shooting at West Freeway Church of Christ just before 10 a.m. Central Time. That would have been about a half hour into the Sunday morning Bible study, according to the church's schedule that's posted online. Multiple reports indicate the shooter was taken down by an armed security officer at the church. Officials don't believe there's any additional threat to the community, but bomb-sniffing dogs are checking the area to make sure the church grounds are safe and secure. ATF is also en route. Police are interviewing witnesses and trying to pin down a motive. Again, they can't question the suspect who has succumbed to his injuries. But one thing is definitely for sure, this is yet another tragic shooting at a holy place in this country.
A very tragic day when anybody in our community suffers, whether it's a community that's next to Fort Worth or in Fort Worth itself. Our hearts and prayers go out to all the families that were affected by this incident. We'll continue to pray for them and continue to do everything we can for them.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott releasing a statement saying, in part, quote, "Places of worship are meant to be sacred, and I'm grateful for the church members who acted quickly to take down the shooter and prevent."
All right, I had to stop that right there. The Texas governor is tweeting about this incident, and rightfully so, right? I guess everybody in politics now tweets all the time. So here is a situation where I spoke about this, how important it is to. We're not living in the same day and age anymore. It's not like it used to be 30 years ago. You now have a situation where you can't go to school, you can't go to church, you can't go to a shopping mall, you can't go anywhere without being subject to this type of event. As horrific as it sounds, this church did what I spoke about for the past 2 years on live streams. Employ armed, good guys. A good person with a gun was instrumental in taking down this bad guy with a gun. Came in with a shotgun, somehow secreted underneath his clothing. Allegedly, he wore some type of disguise, a beard, and some kind of clothing disguise. Came in, received Holy Communion, and then came back around and confronted. I saw the video. I would never dare play it on here because it is horrific. I really watched it, and I wouldn't even consider playing that video on here because it's too traumatizing. But I did watch it myself privately. He came around to the front, up into the altar, off to the side, of the left side of the pew, and confronted, looked to be someone of clergy, and person behind the gunman, actually face to face with him, was withdrawing a firearm. He was shot, went down, and then another person went down right in front of him. But the security guard in the back advanced up and took a shot from a long way back and took him down right away. Yeah, they were live streaming. The church is a Bible study group, and they were live streaming it on, I don't know what service. It might have been Facebook, but it's down, it's gone. I have the video. I saved it. I really wanted to analyze it for tactics and for safety for myself and other fellow officers. And you look at incidents like that where that's captured on video, and I'm not looking at it for the gory part of it and the horrific part of it. I'm looking for tactics on how to better handle a situation. But they did a really good job. There was 3 parishioners total that came up different aisles with their weapons. It was a big church. They came up with their weapons drawn, and the suspect was taken down, I believe, at one shot. It sounded like 1 or 2 maybe gunshots the most. So the suspect was taken down in literally 2 seconds. So he fired his 1 shot, and then there was the return shots. I think it was 1, 2. And no, he was standing up. He was standing up from what I saw. The video that I saw was moments leading up to this. And I from what I read, he received Holy Communion, was in on most of the services, and then this happened towards the end of the service. So, that's preliminarily what I got. Yes, I did. I heard it, and I saw her. She went out of the pew and then ran down to the back end of the row, and then came back, and then she was screaming. Horrible, traumatic situation that you would hope nobody would ever go through. But a security officer or an armed parishioner, a good guy with a gun took out a bad guy. So this is an incident. If there was nobody inside that church doing security or armed parishioner, because there was 2 other men that came to assist the security officer. If there was no security officer there would have been 2 armed people that weren't paid that were praying and would have sprung into action. But, Harmony Love, the person is dead, so we don't know what the motive is, but we have to assume that this is someone who has a deep hatred for religion or for a group of people. We have the incident up in upstate New York where there was a rabbi holding prayer at the end of Hanukkah in his house, in his home, and the person came in with a knife and stabbed him. So this is, I carry as well, Big Frank. I carry my firearm with me everywhere I go because I'm legally allowed to carry it. So why wouldn't I take it? So we don't know anything about the gunman, Caroline, and I wouldn't put it out there. I don't want to I never give the center stage to any of these people, any of these horrific cowards that commit these acts of murder. I don't blast out their names. It'll be all over the news. Trust me, you'll be able to find it. But I got to tell you, this security guy, I would love to just shake his hand and commend him. He acted fast, swift. He was concise and accurate with his shot. Nobody else no innocent people were hurt. There's a lot of people in that church. I saw the video. And I do have a still picture of the actual shooting. And it shows, the location of the gunman and where the security guard was. You could see it was clearly at the back of the church. He took the shot from all the way in the back, so over 25 yards. It was an over 25-yard shot. So this statement that's up on the screen is from the Texas Governor, Greg Abbott, and it's so true. Grateful for the members who acted quickly to take down the shooter and help prevent further loss of life. And this is a really clear and very, very straightforward statement. And I think that, it would all just be speculation about what the motive was, because we can't question the person. But the FBI is on the case, and local, state, and federal are going to do a complete sweep of all his electronic devices. If he had any of his computer accounts, any of his online electronic footprint, they will go through all of that. And I'm sure if there's any type of radicalized behavior or anything, there'll be some type of footprint that's there. And thank you, Harmony Love. I appreciate you being here. All of this stuff is preliminary. It just happened hours, 10 hours ago, not even. So nobody has all the answers to all the questions that we all have. We got to wait until the investigation unfolds, and it's ongoing now. So you just got to be patient with that. So that's Angelina. That's part of when shootings like this occur, or a shooting occurs. This is part of the mass chaos and horrific things that go on. And that's one of the primary reasons I would never show that video on a live stream, because there's no need to traumatize other people. I personally would never play anything like that. I mean, I had the footage from the New Zealand Christchurch, New Zealand mass shooting, where the gunman came and just put a GoPro on and walked into the mosque and started shooting like a madman. And I watched that myself, but I opted obviously not to share that with anybody, because the last thing I want to do is traumatize anybody more than we've already get traumatized just watching the nightly news. If you watch the nightly news, you can legitimately get traumatized. So agreed, Cruise Boston, agreed. But I'm primarily here to tell you that if you listen to some of my previous live streams on Periscope and on YouTube, as a law enforcement professional, as a retired NYPD detective, I have been saying for at least 2 years that we need to arm and shore up our higher education, our schools, our hospitals already have armed security. A lot of them have that. Our houses of worship, shopping malls and things of that nature, you see unarmed security guards. They can't do anything. Unarmed security guards can't do nothing for you. So as horrifying as it sounds, we're going to come to a point where there's going to be armed security guards to keep us safe in all public establishments. Look, baseball stadiums across America have always had armed police in it. In New York here, in Yankee Stadium, Citi Field, the NYPD, I know for a fact, has a detail. They have a police office, a police room, police operations in Yankee Stadium and in Citi Field. And they had it in Shea Stadium as well. So if you do something inside a Major League Baseball park, you have armed security in there, and they're immediately on you. And you're completely screened. You can't, it's like the airport. You can't get into these venues with guns. You can't get in with a knife. You can't get in with anything. I'm sure things could be snuck in, but they do an advanced screening. But there's police walking around, and it's all there's a lot of different things. But there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do. So I travel in the 50 states with my firearm because I'm legally allowed to. I get on an airplane, I fly with my firearm, and I bring it wherever I go within the United States. It's not just in America, Angelina. It's bad all over the place. People can get killed without guns. There's a lot of stabbings that go on in Europe. I can go over them with you in a separate live stream if you'd like. But there's terror and there's horror that, you know, people getting killed in all different ways. You don't need a gun to do it. You know, knives are even more dangerous than guns, and they're available everywhere. So that's a good point, Cruise Boss, and I don't go anywhere. I don't travel without my gun as well. Thank you, Millie. I appreciate that. Thank you for thanking us. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, there's guns all over the place, but I don't even get into that conversation, because people who think they're living in a gun-free zone, that's on them. But anyways, at the end of the day, folks, we have to do a lot of work to keep our children safe when they go to school, and to keep our people safe when they pray to their God, whatever their religion might be. So, thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to end this. That's pretty much all I have. Let me let the rest of this play.
And further loss of life. 2 other victims suffered minor injuries. They were treated and released on scene. Also, there's report.
We need to pray for them and continue to do everything we can.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott releasing a statement saying, in part, quote, "Places of worship are meant to be sacred, and I'm grateful for the church members who acted quickly to take down the shooter and prevent further loss of life." 2 other victims suffered minor injuries. They were treated and released on scene. Also, there's reports that the shooting was captured on camera. Apparently, the church was live streaming online when the shooting happened. But again, law enforcement just at the very beginning stages of this investigation. They've got a lot to look into. Laura.
Again, so, hey, Nabul, good to see you. Morgan, thank you for coming. So here you hear the church was live streaming the service. It was something that they normally would do. So, hi, Tabitha, great to see you. So this particular congregation was live streaming the event, the church service, and it was captured on their live stream camera. So, Texas Lassie, great to see you. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Angelina. My pleasure. So, like I said, I have a photo. I'm actually not going to show it here. I was going to show it to you guys, and it's just a still photo. It doesn't show any violence going on or anything like that, but it just gives you an idea. You could probably see it online. It's available anyway. Boxing MMA all the way over from Ireland. Welcome in. Thank you for joining the great people of Ireland. We love and respect our allies all over the world. So, from the United States, from America to Ireland, I give my thanks. I give my thanks to your country. Anyways, again, the still photo that I have and that I've seen shows the depiction of the security guard. I'm not sure if he was hired to work there or if he was volunteer. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The armed security guy, all the way at the back, the rear part of the church, and the perpetrator up at the front, in the very, very front, right before the altar, off to the left if you're looking from the back of the church. It all happened on the left side of the church. And he takes his shot and takes him. You see the gunman go right down. But before he went down, he got off, I think, 1 or 2 shots with the shotgun and took out one. And then the second victim, I think, suffered a heart attack. I'm almost certain that was the injury. It was in critical condition, heart attack. So one perpetrator dead, shot and killed, and another person shot and killed by the perpetrator. So that's what we have going on here from Texas.
All right, Christina Coleman, thank you so much for that report. And our team of researchers tells us there's been at least 13 church shootings since Charleston in 2015, Eric.
13 shootings. Jeez Louise. That's 13 too many in my eyes. 13 too many, guys.
Manual in for Chris Wallace more than a week.
All right, let me just see something here. I'm gonna just take this off for a second. Hold on, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Hi, Nikki Pink. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Thank you for joining. You used to live by that church. This is absolutely horrifying. I agree. 100%. Very horrifying. It's not good when we have this going on. Yes, thank you, Inner Peas. I appreciate that. Guys, if you're not subscribed, here is my channel, DutyRon. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Go to my website, DutyRon.com, for all things DutyRon. You can also go to my social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all one word, DutyRon, and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to see if I can find, hold on a second, guys. Let's see if I can find this still photo. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. If I can find it, I'll show it to you guys. Okay, here it is. All right, just a disclaimer. If anybody is squeamish in any way or suffers from PTSD or anything like that, this might be something that you won't want to see, but it's just going to give you a good depiction to just show you where the how far away from the gunman the security guard was. Actually, I can't pull it up on there. I don't know why, but I'll show it to you on the cam here. Hold on, guys. It may not come across good, but it is a grainy. Hold on, let me get the cam back up so I can see what I'm showing you. All right. So, hold on a second. So there's the bad guy with the gun, and so hold on a second. So the red is the bad guy with the gun. Hold on. There it is. I don't know if that's coming in. Oh, shit. Okay, that shows it good. So up front, the red where it says bad guy with the gun, and then in the blue, it says good guy with the gun. So that's the guy who took out the perpetrator, and that's how many people were in the church. And the fatalities happened in between the two circles, So, yeah, they're taking down videos. That is just giving you a depiction, a still photo of how the good guy with the gun was able to stop this. YouTube is going to take down anybody that shows a video or anybody that shows violence occurring. This is a still photo, and it's from a very far distance. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a clear reminder of that if we don't take our safety and security seriously, and you don't have in sensitive locations like this, if you don't have the police or armed security, then you're vulnerable. And that's why I say, a good guy with a gun is always better than having a bad guy with a gun with nobody around to take him out or to defend good people that are sitting there. So yes, I commend him. I would love to hug this guy because he did a great job. He was very brave in what he did, and kudos to him. Here's another story of who knows how many more fatalities there would have been. So there's hundreds of thousands of retired law enforcement professionals. There's hundreds of thousands of retired military personnel. So put them to work. Put them to work at your houses of worship, your places of higher education, and all major events. Concert arenas, things of that nature. The more armed good guys, the better off and the safer you are. to keep us safe away from these crazy people. So there's a lot of hate in this world, unfortunately, and that's what's going on. So guys, I want to wish you guys a good evening. I appreciate everyone coming in. Thank you for inviting and sharing, and happy, healthy, and safe New Year to everybody. I won't be broadcasting until after the New Year. So the next time you'll see me live will be in 2020. So 2020, everybody have a healthy one, a prosperous New Year. I will speak to you all on the next live stream. So thank you to my moderators, thank you to my Patreon people, and all of the behind the scenes work that goes on the DutyRon channel. I will speak to you all on the next video. Good night, and God bless from New York City. Peace.